Who are these people?
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Who are these people?
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Don't be rude.
Who are these people?
There we go. We're finally back. Jesus Christ. What is it, 2 or 3 weeks? We're supposed to review Night of Champions and never got around to it for one reason or another. Last week, my electric went out, so that's why we didn't do anything last week. And, yeah, it's time for wrestling talk. We're going to quickly, and I'm talking about quickly, review night. It's been 2 weeks. I don't remember anything, really. So it's like I want to spend... I was kind of mad that Sami Zayn won the world title, but now since he's dropped it, that's kind of a moot point. It's kind of a moot point to go over that. So,
we still gotta say something about it, and I have to give my star ratings. You know, Mrs.Witchy Perfect star ratings will be coming up.
Yeah. So the pay-per-view opened with Femi defeating Jey Uso by pinfall and becoming the king of the ring.
You and I were like, "What the fuck? They actually did something right."
No.
They did something right, you know, because we were thinking, oh, Jey Uso, and then he's going to go after the belt, and then it's going to be Roman Reigns and, you know, the bloodline on top, the bloodline 2.0, you know.
Yeah, but that didn't happen, and I guess the reason why it didn't happen is they had their main events planned for SummerSlam. So you had your Punk and Cody and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. So already had those main events planned. So the Hang in the Ring was kind of pointless because, as we would later find out, the Hang in the Ring actually, you know, not forfeited, but I don't know what word to use, but gave up his title shot to
Yeah,
face
I didn't like that
pay-per-view.
part,
So,
but you know.
so in the hell, and now that sets up a Hell in a Cell match between Brock and Obafemi to
Oh, really?
basically
Hell in
blow
a
off the
Cell?
rivalry.
Mhm.
They're gonna blow off that rivalry in the cell. So, so the match itself is fine. It is what it is. 7 minutes 56 seconds. Oba took most of the match and then pinned Jey Uso in the middle of the ring. So he's the king of the ring. I was happy for that, but the
I
match
mean, that
itself.
was the best match on the card. Let's be truthful here. And I love Cody Rhodes, but I mean, I don't like his politics. He's been hanging around with a lot of politicians and stuff. So, I mean, I think they've got to him. I don't like it, but they've got to him.
Well, let's see here. The next match had Io Sky.
Oh wait, my star ratings. My star ratings. I give this 2 stars, only because Obafemi was in it. Otherwise, it would have been a sucky match if Oba had lost.
Yeah, so the next match was the Queen of the Ring final, and Io Sky defeating Liv Morgan to become the Queen of the Ring, and then immediately challenging her for the belt.
And what did I keep asking you? I kept asking you, why is she in this? She has a belt already. So like she wins and then she goes on to have 2 titles? No, that's not how it works around here, honey. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And Rhea Ripley is apparently hurt, and they haven't taken the women's title off of her, so she's not competing. So and there was really no point in her winning. So, which is why did she win? Why was she in the final? Who knows? Basically probably to set up this match at SummerSlam.
Right.
So, and before the match, I do remember Danhausen cursing Liv Morgan before she got to the ring. So,
well, and then you were saying that automatically means she's gonna lose.
Yeah, because they protect that curse thing. Once you get cursed, you're not gonna win that match. So it's like they really are protecting that thing more. They protect finishes in WWE. So it's like once you curse him, you're gonna lose. So all right. Whatever.
I give it 1 star because it sucked. It left a lot to be desired in my eyes, and I don't like Io Sky. I barely like Liv Morgan. I mean, I don't like her, but I mean, she's better than Io Sky, so I leave it up to that. So 1 star because I'm sorry, I cannot get in the band camp of Io Sky. Sorry.
Yeah, the next match was the steel cage match between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, and Seth Rollins won. And the issue with I do remember this immediately. Both guys, before they even got to the cage, threw a million weapons in there and furniture. So both guys did it. So I'm like, yeah, this is not a steel cage match. This is just like you're burying the cage when you do that because the cage is supposed to be the weapon. Instead, you're like a million weapons in the ring.
A million weapons, and it made no sense. It made no sense to have a referee in there when literally, I mean, the object of the cage is to get in and then get out, right? It's not to submit or it's not to pin your opponent. It was literally you had to climb the cage and you had to get out. I thought that was the rules we all agreed on when we had a steel cage match. Otherwise, just make it a Hell in a Cell. I mean, with all the damn weapons and stuff. I mean, you might as well just made it a Hell in a Cell match. That way they can't get out.
Yeah. Let's see.
I give that one 2 stars.
Yeah,
because of Braun Breaker. I do like Braun Breaker. I just don't like what they're doing with him.
They beat him clean and not clean. I mean, there was a bunch of weapons and stuff, but they beat him right in the middle with Seth Rollins' finish. So that's the end of their feud. Braun Breaker is now in the tag team division. They just won. Him and Austin Theory won the tag team titles
and
again.
And they pushed him right back down the card. I don't know why they keep this little thing with Seth Rollins. I mean, Seth Rollins is, let's face it, he's 40-something years old? 42 maybe?
Yeah, he's
43, 44. Seth Rollins, I'm sorry, has passed it. His time has come and gone. It's time to let the younger generation in, but they just won't pull the trigger on Braun Breaker.
LA Knight cut a great promo on Seth Rollins, basically
Oh my
on
God, it
Raw
was so
Monday.
awesome. And then
And
fucking
he
Jimmy
said,
Uso had to ruin it.
yeah, he said
I'm
like
like,
the
oh,
only
come
reason
on.
why Seth Rollins got that match because of nostalgia. That's basically
Exactly.
his argument. It was nostalgia act. It's like he got, and that's what it takes to get a world title match in WWE. You know, it was we used to win matches back in the day for number one contenders. Now you just come out and assert nostalgia and you get a world title match. It's like that
Right.
makes no
And
sense. But
I feel so bad for, because every time LA Knight's in a match, he's gonna lose. Almost every time.
yeah. But here's the thing: it hasn't really affected his popularity. I mean, he's still over, even though he loses every time he has a match. So
Oh,
it
he's
gets to a
definitely
point
over.
where, yeah, so it hasn't really affected how popular he is with the audience. So, let's see. The next match had the U.S. title match between Trick Williams and Ricky Saints with the rapper with Trick Williams. I don't
Oh,
remember
I
this
hated
match at
this
all. It was
show.
what it
I hated
was.
this match. It stank. I don't like Ricky Saints. I don't think he deserves to be in WWE, especially after being in AEW and doing the crap he used to do over there. I didn't like it, so -1 star
Yeah, I
because
don't remember
it just
much about
stank.
this match either. I don't remember much about this match. Ricky Saints is like buddies with Cody Rhodes, like as one of those favor hires. It seemed like so, just
Hmm.
like kind of Danhausen with CM Punk, but Danhausen got over. So to his credit, so
Yeah,
that's
Ricky
why.
Saints is not over because
Yeah.
everyone's like, who the crap is Ricky Saints?
So him, I think Sean Spears and Ethan Page are all buddies with Cody, and they were like favor hires from AEW. So, let's see. The next match was the women's U.S. title. Tiffany Stratton defeated Jade Cargill. Didn't Chelsea Green interfere in this match and help Tiffany win? I don't remember.
And Charlotte Flair again,
Yeah, that's who it was.
interfered
Charlotte
as
Flair
well.
screwed. She screwed Jade Cargill. Now they have their feud. I guess
Yeah,
that
I
this match
mean,
didn't happen at
something's
SummerSlam.
happened where Chelsea Green has literally become like buddy with Tiffany Stratton. I don't know why they would get those two together. I mean, Tiffany, they pushed her back down the card for, I guess, what happened with Charlotte Flair, and
Yeah.
now Charlotte Flair is on their side. So she's well, at least Jade's weave didn't fall off, right?
Yeah, yeah,
In Saudi
she's
Arabia, they made a scalp or they may have, sent her to
she.
the chambers or something.
Yeah, I guess she's like I don't know. There, she's back down. She's fighting for the U.S. title and lost. So even though it's by interference by Charlotte, well, that'll hyper, not hyper. That'll heat up their feud allegedly. Even though nobody really cares, but they should heat up their feud leading to the match at SummerSlam, either night one or night two, which is now two
Right.
nights. So, by the way, no pro wrestling. No, actually, no. It's in August, but no pro wrestling talk Saturday because Saturday's main event is on at the Garden. So
We will try to have it
so
Sunday as long as none of us have something scheduled that we forgot about.
yeah,
I don't think I have anything scheduled for
I
Sunday
don't
except for a lazy
think
day
so.
sitting
I
around
don't.
and doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't. Tomorrow I'll be busy, but not next Sunday. So the next match, the main event, we had a triple threat for the undisputed WWE Championship. I honestly assumed if Sammy was going to win, Gunther would take the fall, and Cody trying to protect Cody, not taking the fall. Surprisingly, Cody took this fall, and Sami Zayn won the WWE title basically by luck because he managed to roll up Cody for 1, 2, 3.
Well, and it seems like, and just, I love CM Punk. Okay, don't get me wrong. CM Punk has grown on me. Okay, I used to hate Punk, and now I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, Punk, go. Right? It's kind of like one of those. Well, I mean, because he has such respect for the veterans of our era, which is Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, and he's an all-around good guy. Punk is. And I'm so tired of these damn marks are like, oh, well, Punk is just like Hogan. No, he
Yeah,
isn't.
he's Hogan.
Stop it with the bullshit. First of all, I saw something on X that, they have the same like black eye or whatever. I'm like, I don't see Randy Savage around punching Punk in the face. All right. I
Yeah.
mean, that's they say that's a rumor, but Jim Cornette swears up and down that that's the really what happened to Hogan's face, right, for WrestleMania 9. Or
right
WrestleMania
9. When
but I give the match before, I give it -4 stars, and this one, I'm sorry, I got to give it negative numbers, -2 stars, because
awful.
They're just pandering to the damn audience. Okay, so Sammy's Arab. Sammy is he's from Canada. He's Arab. He has the Palestinian colors. Great, I don't mind that. In fact, I like that about Sami Zayn. What I don't like about Sami Zayn is his, maybe here or there backwards wrestling that I just couldn't get into. I couldn't get into the whole, all they do now, all his finishers are just like a bomb, like a power bomb, and then it's like a kick. Well,
it's that kick in the corner.
I'm sorry, I don't like those kind of finisher moves. And then they kick out everything anyway, Yeah. I wouldn't mind. I would not have minded to see that maybe Sammy screwed, Cody out of the belt, and then Gunther wins. But I think they just, to me, it seemed like TKO just wanted to pander to the audience because Sammy's Arab. He knows, he speaks the language.
Viral. Yeah, it was a viral moment.
Yeah.
And
so it's just,
oh my God.
Yeah, Sami Zayn is champion.
And they kept emphasizing throughout the match that this is his 10th world title shot, and his 10th world title shot, his 10th world. He's gonna win this belt, even though I'm gonna hate it, but he's gonna win this belt because they keep emphasizing this, and they keep emphasizing that he's Arab, and it's like, they didn't
Muslim,
phrase it like that. Yeah, they didn't phrase it like that, but yeah, they kept emphasizing that too throughout the commentary team. So that told me to get this belt, even though I'm going to hate it, and my words would have been, the WWE Championship is not a participation trophy. Like, not everyone gets to be champion.
Yeah,
not everyone
back in
gets
our
to be
era,
WWE
no.
champion.
Yeah, like Mr.
Not
Perfect,
everyone gets to be WWE champion.
Rick Rude, all these people that literally tried and worked hard and they got, title shots, but they never could give them the belt. But now it just seems like, okay, well, it's his time. It's his turn, when we're in Saudi Arabia. So give him the belt. It seems like more of a participation trophy now.
Like, they have taken out all the prestige of being WWE champion at one point. It meant something at one point, but today it's like, hey, it's your turn. Hey, you deserve it. Hey, here's the belt. Hey, you got to drop it back to CM Punk, and you don't get a title. You don't get even one successful title defense, which shows how little they think of Sami Zayn.
Because everyone here in the States was losing their mind. Like, really, Sami Zayn? Of all people, Sami Zayn? Not Gunther? I mean, but if they ever go back to Austria or Germany, they'll probably drop it to Gunther. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying the way they're going, the way it's mapping, it's going to, Gunther if they go back to Austria or Germany.
The championship used to mean something, and it's like, hey, you're the WWF champion, you're special. Not many guys get this honor. Here it is. Vince McMahon thinks you're the biggest draw in the company, so here's the belts. That wasn't always the case. Like, Kevin Nash never drew, but that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other drama.
That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, neither is Shawn Michaels, honestly, but but
I never respected Shawn Michaels because, again, he was he couldn't carry the company. He thought it was really hard at the top, and he was on the wacky stuff. Let's be real, they all did it, but for some reason, Brett said it best. It's kind of hard to be at that top spot because you're wanted everywhere. So you have to be that person or whatever character or gimmick you are 24/7 pretty much. So, I see it from that point, but it still would be nice for Mr. Perfect to say, I was champion, and I was a great one. Because I think Kurt would be a great one.
Yeah,
but anyway, back to Sami Zayn. Yes, if we get to Raw was in, I give that one, like I said, -2 stars because it just sucked. It was like they were pandering to the damn Saudi Arabia audience.
So that first week before Raw on this past Monday, Sami didn't defend the title. And I would like, I got to give him one successful title defense. I mean, I can't say, oh yeah, your first title defense you lose. I mean, I mean that's how little respect Triple H has for Sami Zayn, I guess, because he didn't give him one title defense,
Or
one successful
TKO.
one. Yeah, it's like, hey, you're the champion. Here's one successful defense, and then you drop it to whoever. Well,
Right,
it was
CM
CM
Punk.
Punk, but
Well, and they were in Chicago, so again, it was almost expected. Like Cody would go down. This
Yeah.
kind of it doesn't remind me of WrestleMania 9 when Brett went down, because Brett had already lost the title to Yokozuna.
yeah.
And that actually was a better storyline than what they've been pumping out here recently.
That was supposed to lead to Hulk and Brett at SummerSlam. That was Vince's grand plan.
Right.
Hey, yeah. So that's why Hulk got the belt. But Hulk, being Hulk, he was like,
that doesn't work for me, brother.
Right, and he politicked, and Brett was out,
and he dropped it back to Yoko at King of the Ring '93, and Hulk
went
was
off
gone
and made
for
his
7
movies,
years.
and then he was went and made his movies, and then he went to WCW anyway, which is what Vince was trying to prevent him from doing. But this seems like not so much Hulk coming back as it seems like to me this is more like CM Punk taking over for a very injured Cody Rhodes or whatever. I guess I don't know if Cody's really injured, but Gunther attacked him, so that
it seems like they're setting up the fact that maybe Cody is hurt, and which is why he lost, and which is why he's probably going to lose to Punk, because I don't see Punk dropping in his first title defense like Sami did. So it's going to be a great match. It's going to be a great angle, or story, but most likely Punk's going to retain, and then they'll probably at some point on the line Cody will get it back. But for now, I think Punk's going to run with this belt for a few months.
What did I say? It didn't seem like Hogan coming back. It seemed like this Punk coming out was like someone. I can't remember what I phoned it to, but a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's like WrestleMania 9." No, it's not. First of all, Cody Rhodes could be hurt. We'll see. Okay, but it was more like, to me, it seemed like more like, "Oh no, Punk is back and he's going to save us all." That kind of thing. Not that, again, Sami doesn't deserve. I'm sure he deserves it, but show me in your wrestling. Don't show me just because he's a Muslim or because it's been 10 years and he's been chasing it this whole time. Yeah, Kurt chased it his whole life and he never got it. So
yeah, that's what made the WWF title special, because not everybody got it. Like, for example, you might argue Rick Rude deserved it when he worked with Warrior and got his ass beat every night, but he never got it. Warrior beat him flat every night, so it was like, you should have beaten Warrior for that belt, but he didn't.
And he would have been a great champion because, again, Rick Rude could carry have the big heel and kind of like the Sergeant Slaughter thing. I guess you can atone it to Hogan coming back. After Warrior lost the belt to Sergeant Slaughter, which wasn't supposed to happen. But anyway, I digress. He drops it to Slaughter accidentally. That wasn't supposed to happen. But then, Hogan comes back and he's the biggest American in the world and takes it from Slaughter at WrestleMania 7. So it may not make sense because Hogan was still around. He wasn't gone for 3 months like Punk was. But I don't atone it to, oh, well, that's just CM Punk politicking his way to the top. No, CM Punk deserves it. He is a champion. He's been champion before. He can carry the company. He's carried the company before. I love Cody too. Don't get me wrong. I love Cody too. But Punk just has that soft spot in my heart. I'm sorry. So congratulations to CM Punk. I'm happy to see him on top again.
The match was what it was. I mean, it wasn't, I'm not sure whether it was good, but it wasn't wasn't great. And
I think Punk got what he could out of Sami. Yeah.
Yeah, Punk. If I watched the match, I remember Punk not hitting his
highlights.
Yeah, Punk didn't hit his finish once until the match actually ended. Meanwhile, Sami hit two go to sleeps on Punk and hit his Halua kick finish and didn't beat him. So it was like
Right.
Punk kind of buried Sammy there and beat him clean with his finish in the middle. So it was like, oh, okay. I think I see what Punk did there, because he's an old school type of worker. He would
He is
know,
an old school,
like,
right?
oh yeah, you can hit my finish and you can hit. It'll make you look strong. It's like, no, I mean, you're burying him. I mean, I'm sure Sammy's not stupid. I mean, he's been around for a while too, but he did it because that's the style he works. Kick out
Yeah.
of everything, hit your finish, hit multiple finishes. Don't kick out of everything 1, 2, 3 randomly, and it falls flat every time because people don't know when the finish comes. It's like,
Right.
hey, he hit you finish 4 times, so it's pointless. Yeah, so Sammy drops the belt to Punk. They set up Punk versus Cody on SmackDown. They had that promo battle. That's the first one out of many, I would suspect, for August, for SummerSlam, August 1st and August 2nd.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see that. Have we
I'm
ever
not-
seen Cody versus
No.
Punk?
Oh,
Okay.
well, no. Technically, that we've seen it. Vince booked it once in 2007 when Cody first debuted. And of course, Punk
Okay,
beat
but
him,
this is more like, champion Cody.
This is
champion
star
Punk.
versus star now.
Star
Top guy
versus-
versus
yeah.
top guy.
Right.
Back then, it was Punk who was the top star versus Cody was just a rookie. So
Well, and the other thing is, a lot of people don't understand that Punk dropped the belt to Reigns, and here we go with
Yeah.
another maybe 4-year thing with Reigns and the whole Bloodline 2.0, which
By the way,
everybody fucking
I hate
hates. Everybody hates it. They hate it.
I like the first Bloodline, and I praised it on this show for a year and a half since we started this show.
Mhm.
Now it's like this 2.0 thing. It's like it's a rehash of what they did 2 or 3 years ago. So it's like I already seen this movie. I hope Roman doesn't have another 3.5 year title run because it's ridiculous. I don't want to see that again. The first time was cool. The second time is like the exact same thing again. Like, no, I mean, let's just get a new champion in there and
Yeah,
don't
I
have
mean,
Roman be a champion for
I
a
mean,
year.
Jimmy
Like,
and Jay are just, lackeys for Roman again, and we're going to have the same thing when they get tired of doing that. Jay's going to break away again.
and they're going to betrayal angle. It's like the same melodrama from 3.5 years ago. And so
it's just, I hated it, and I hated the fact that they made Punk drop this belt. What I didn't foresee was that they were moving him towards a better, the Cody versus CM Punk. And again, I would like to see Femi versus Roman Reigns. I think that would be like a marquee WrestleMania night 2.
That's your money match. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's your money match. That's what's going to draw, I suspect, at next year's WrestleMania in Saudi.
Absolutely.
Because Roman's going to keep this belt for the rest of the year until next year anyway. So Seth Rollins is not beating Roman Reigns. And especially when they're setting up the angle where, Seth Rollins is like, Roman Reigns, you never pinned me once in your 15-year career. It's like, okay, Roman's going to pin him. Like, we already know what's happening, but why would you mention that,
Right, right. Well, and just get that done and over with at SummerSlam, and then because Femi will be with Brock Lesnar, and then let's build up the Femi and Roman Reigns. And I see money dollar signs. I can see them selling out even in Saudi Arabia, but yet I mean, like, everyone's buying that pay-per-view. Everyone's going to want to see that pay-per-view. So I mean, build it up, get that feud going now, build it up, and then
Do you do multiple title matches or just one? Because I'm kind of thinking if you do multiple title matches, Roman wins one, and it'd be a 3. No, but I don't like that because that would mean Roman multiple title shots.
They need to get back to what they used to do. Is if they had a feud going between two guys, they would do house shows with them. But they would kind of keep away from each other, like Brett would say.
Yeah.
If we had a feud, we weren't, we were building it up and telling a story. And then, when it came to the main event or where we were supposed to come, I mean, we didn't wrestle until that main event because the buildup is, and then the climax is where you get to that match and you want to see these two big dudes fight each other. I think it would be a great match, and I think that Brett is correct that if they want to tell a great story here, here's what you do. You keep them away from each other. You tease it a little here, a little there, but you keep them apart until the match happens, and then you let it explode.
Yeah, but the issue is Oba still won King of the Ring, so he's gonna get a title shot unless they
Absolutely.
forget about it and ignore it. So now it's a problem because if he's not getting this belt, then he shouldn't really cash in this King of the Ring win. They should probably just ignore it and forget about it. It's like hopefully the fans will forget about it. Hey,
I don't
and
think
let
they'll
him.
forget about it. I don't think he'll let them. Um,
Yeah, so because if he's not getting this belt, you got to beat him. I don't know how you're going to do that without burying him, but not really burying him, but making him not feel as special because they already beat him with Brock in the middle in Italy.
yeah,
So
I
it's like,
thought that was so wrong. Let someone
they,
come out and interfere and have like a turn. Paul Heyman turns on Brock Lesnar kind of angle, but they didn't do that. So it was shitty, and I thought it was rotten. And maybe they will do what you said. They'll probably beat him clean in the ring, and then maybe
yeah,
they'll. But they've forgotten the one thing is, excuse me, one thing that they had with Vince was the build up. If they want to tell
yeah,
a great story, they want to do this right. Of course, they won't do anything I say. They'll probably do the opposite. But the buildup is what got us all interested in the first place, is seeing these two big monsters beat the crap out of each other, right?
yeah,
So, I mean, the build will be probably nil. They'll probably just say, throw them together, throw them together, and oh, well, I'm going to beat you, blah, 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 and I'm going to beat you. And the buildup will be, not as
yeah,
good, and it won't sell anything because they don't take consideration into the buildup anymore.
yeah. I agree, and most likely Oba's gonna want to cash in that King of the Ring match against Roman because he already kind of teased it earlier before Brock came back, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna face Roman Reigns at some point," and so that's gonna happen. Don't know when. Maybe it'll be at Money in the Bank, which I assume is the next pay per view after
If they
SummerSlam.
don't
So
already put him in the Money in the Bank. I
yeah,
mean, he
because
won King of
Money,
the Ring, and they put him in Money in the Bank, and then he can cash that in anytime he wants to. But again, it's the buildup that is, it's almost
now
like that
winning,
King of the Ring didn't even freaking matter. It didn't
yeah,
matter to Oba because he went
it
after
was
Brock.
pointless.
I would
Yeah,
tell Brock, "Hey, go screw yourself. I get a championship match."
I
But
thought to make it make sense, Brock would win this belt and do Brock versus Oba for the WWE Championship. So Oba cashes in his title shot and also wins the title because he's not losing to Brock 2 times in a row, most likely, because Oba's the future and Brock is on his way out. Basically,
way the
he already
past.
fake retired once. He already fake retired once, So it's like, yeah, he's almost done pretty much with his wrestling career. So it's like give Brock the belt one more time and then have the match with Oba, have Brock put him over strong, and there's your new WWE champion.
Yeah, well, I
And
don't
now
think
you
that's going
have
to happen either. I think
no
because I don't see
that didn't
Roman Reigns
happen,
losing
but
that belt. I just don't see Roman Reigns losing that belt,
no, I
even
meant
if he
the
did like
WWE
Roman
title,
versus
right?
Brock.
hmm Yeah, and no, I was talking about Sammy versus Brock. Have
Oh,
him
okay,
beat and then and make Oba WWE champion. All of a sudden, you have Cody, you have Gunther, you have like at least 3 or 4 like top guys over on SmackDown for him to feud with for the title.
right.
So instead, it just did this no title shot. And if he's not going to get this any world title right now, it's tough for him to cash in that King in the Ring because he's probably going to lose. So it's like, unless be interesting if he wins Money in the Bank and then kind of comes out to Roman, comes out to Roman every chance he gets, like, hey, remember I got this, and it annoys Roman, and you build it up that way. They don't actually touch, they don't actually fight, but Oba, like, remember I have this, I can come out, I can cash in whenever I want, right? Remember that. So they don't have to fight. They don't have to touch. Roman just he's looking over his shoulder every 5 seconds. That's what you want, and that builds it up because they're not touching, they're not fighting. So it's and Roman's occupied by other opponents, but Oba's there with the briefcase, like, hey, remember I got this. Oh, so that's
Right.
what I would do. But
Yeah,
problem is
well, they're
that
probably going to do the opposite.
yeah, problem is that kind of leaves LA Knight again on the outside looking in any world title picture. So I think he should win. He should win Money in the Bank, and and do that. But for whatever reason, Triple H just doesn't believe in him. He keeps He's close but no cigar, over and over and over again.
I mean, you did it for Sami. Why can't you do it for, And again, I criticize Triple H for saying, "Well, LA Knight screwed up that finish. It was to make him look good." But he was going to lose anyway. It was going to be Seth Rollins. So really, it wasn't It wasn't for him to look good. It was so that he would lose another fucking match because for some reason you don't like LA Knight.
The logic was, hey, close but no cigar again. He would have looked good in defeat, but why not just have him win the briefcase? Like, I get it. They were doing they were working towards Punk and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, which as soon as Punk won the belt, then Seth cashed in and won that title and left a bad taste in everybody's mouth when he did that. So
right.
That was last year's SummerSlam.
Nobody wanted him to be champion. Nobody wanted Seth Rollins to win that belt. Look what they did to him after he won that belt. Not only did he lose it back to CM Punk, I think, but then they kicked him out of the Vision.
Yeah, because he was injured for real that time. It wasn't a fake injury, which is why Braun Breaker turned on him. And I thought he'd be the leader of the Vision. Instead, the Vision is just rudderless right now. There's no leader. And Logan Paul is injured. Austin Theory and Braun Breaker are the tag team champions again. There isn't that one clear guy that leads the group. Apparently now Maxine Dupree is Austin Theory's girlfriend, so she's a part of the Vision too. So
yeah, I was it's just who rudderless. Cares about Maxine Dupree?
Yeah, it's just rudderless, like the Vision. It's like the Vision made sense. I didn't like Seth Rollins, but the Vision made sense with him because he's the visionary and the architect. So, but now the Vision without Seth Rollins is just rudderless. It's like I thought Braun Breaker would take the lead.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 1990 or 2000 NWO where like Hogan leaves and it's like Jared and Bret Hart and the Harris brothers or whatever. I don't know what happened to the NWO by 2000, but that was awful.
Yeah.
First of all, Jeff Jarrett would never join the NWO.
Yeah, the NWO was like by then it was just a shell of his former self. It was rudderless.
Yeah, it was a joke. It was like a running joke. The NWO, huh?
But Russo was booking then, and it was like the NWO. Every time WCW was in trouble, they would go back to the NWO. Like, let's rehash that again. They rehashed it like 4 or 5 times before they went down. Ultimately, I mean, rehashing it to the point where it was jabronis mostly in the NWO. It was like, who's this guy? Why is this guy in the NWO? What? I barely watched WCW in 2000, 2001. I just like,
I watched up until Kurt left, and then when Kurt left, I stopped watching.
They were basically dead man walking that company. It was like.
And they were just about to hand over the reins. Sean Stasiak was in WCW at this time, and they were Kurt was going to hand over the torch to Sean Stasiak, who was calling himself the Perfect One.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. Kurt left, and Stasiak kind of twisting in the wind there. Doing nothing with him, just like Vince did in WWE once he would buy out WCW. So it was terrible. Russo, I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, did you? A new season of Dark Side of the Ring started where they did a 3-part episode on TNA wrestling, the entire history of TNA wrestling from the beginning to today. So they did a 3-part season opener and. And they have Cornette, they had Russo, they had who else? It was
Jared, because he was
Jared, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett. I heard a review about it. I didn't really want to see it because I don't like Jeff Jarrett. They did talk about the whole Kurt Angle, Christine Angle, and Jeff Jarrett angle. Now, she swears up and down that she was legally separated from Kurt.
When
still legally married.
It's
when she started dating Jared, and
they
didn't start
separated completely.
Well, but she didn't start. She says she didn't start dating Jarrett till after the divorce. I went, no, honey. Everybody could tell that you two were flirting.
That's not what other people saying that were there at the time. I mean, she
Yeah,
was still allegedly she was still with Kurt when
she
she
still
started
was
dating
legally
Jarrett.
married. That's right.
Yeah. So I think she did this to defend herself. Like, hey, I look like a total whore, so let me go on dark side of the ring and defend myself, and say, oh no, I was divorced from Kurt before I got with Jeff. So but they also covered the part where Jerry Jarrett, his dad, just hated Vince Russo's booking, and so did everybody else. So because Jeff
So did
hired him to
everyone
be the
else.
booker,
But Dixie
and
Carter, because Russo was paying her compliments and telling her what she wanted to hear, they literally took the business away from not only Jerry Jarrett but
yeah,
also Jeff Jarrett. They were doing shady shit
so
behind the scenes,
yeah. So
and
what happened?
literally Jeff was fired. I mean, they
Yeah,
suspended him, sent him home. Wanted to talk to him again, but again, Russo kind of snuck in there and was telling Dixie Carter, hey, you look great. You should be on TV more. No, she shouldn't have.
yeah.
And she didn't give a fuck.
So the story with Jerry, this is the beginning of TNA, where basically Jerry hated Russo's booking to the point where basically he got himself fired. Like he forced his son to fire him because the story he purposely went to Titan Tower with Vince and he brought some Russian wrestler that he knew to Vince and he took a picture with him and Vince put it on the website on purpose in order to help Jerry get fired by his son. And then Jerry didn't speak to his son for like 6 or 7 years after that.
Mm-hmm.
He never really spoke to him until right before he passed. So it was like that's that because of Vince Russo. Like Jerry, come on, Jeff. I mean, Vince Russo's not important compared to your dad. I mean, he
Well,
kept him
but
around for years.
but Russo, weasels his way in and makes everybody, egos, he tends to the ego, and then he kind of takes over from there. So, they also said, after Owen Hart passed away, Jeff was he was not himself. Because
No, he was.
him and Owen were like really best of friends, and Jared had to perform even though his friend had just passed away, and I mean he wasn't. He was on the pills, and he just wasn't himself. And I'm not standing up for Jeff Jarrett. I don't really like Jeff Jarrett. Never loved his wrestling. Never liked his wrestling. But I mean, there was a couple of matches between Jeff Jarrett and Kurt, so. And I like to watch him in WCW.
Yeah. The thing with Jeff Jarrett, he always thought of himself as a main event caliber talent, like his dad was, but he wasn't. He never was, and I think it was who was it? It was Mike Graham. Mike Graham said it best. Like Jeff Jarrett broke 1,000 million guitars and never drew a dime. Like,
right.
It was,
and that's the thing. Like in TNA, even when Kurt was in it. And I mean Kurt Hennig, not Kurt Angle. When Kurt Hennig was in, TNA, they kept saying that, and they would say this over and over again in the show that, I mean, Jared he had that belt way too long. Okay. You need to drop it to somebody else. You need to get some fresh blood in there. He couldn't even drop it to Kurt Hennig. I mean,
no, you know what he did? He did, Triple H's reign of terror. Jeff Jarrett's was so much worse because he wasn't over. He wasn't over. Nobody really liked him. The crowd didn't really like him, but he was the owner, so he put the belt on himself. It was like it's kind of like when
Vince Russo and whoever Vern Gagne put the belt on himself.
Yeah.
It
Vern
was like that, Well,
Vern was over in his territory. That's why he put the belt on himself because it made sense. Jarrett put the belt on himself, but it made no sense because the company never grew, and he never really got over as the heel world champion.
I mean, so you could compare it to Vince Russo putting the belt on himself. He was not over. He was not a wrestler. Mm-hmm. And then he put the belt on David Arquette, which was even fucking worse.
Yeah, so I think the part 3 is supposed to air to this Tuesday night, and this is when they bring up Dixie Carter a lot. And how Russo betrayed Jarrett by going to Carter, like basically sucking up to her and getting Jarrett fired, pretty much. Because the whole Karen Angle thing, I'm not sure it was Vince Russo who leaked it to Dixie. That was the allegation that Vince Russo told Dixie and told her to get Jarrett fired. I don't know how true that is. Russo denies it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is true. because Russo would do shit like that. So
Yeah, because he wanted to make himself come out looking like roses, and then he would own the whole thing. Dixie Carter would make him the booker, and he could just,
yeah,
do his business. But I mean, even the
Dixie,
booking under, Jared was bad.
yeah. So Russo around this time got Jim Cornette fired too because
Right.
Jim is not fully behind my vision. So that's why
And he
Dixie
stroked
basically
the
said the same.
ego of Dixie Carter,
Yeah,
and Dixie Carter
Dixie
said,
fired.
"Sorry, but no cigar. Please
So
leave."
Cornette tells the story like, I was gonna ask Dixie for more money because I'm doing more work, and then Dixie's like, "Oh, you gotta let you go. You're not fully behind creative." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. Yeah, everybody knows this. I hate Vince Russo. Why would I be behind his creative? I've been working
Right,
here 2 years and never said anything." And so
right,
now all of a sudden it's an issue. So yeah, that was because Russo and Terry Taylor kind of got together like little buddies and buried Jim Cornette to Dixie. So that's
right.
why, because both, I
And
think
I
it was
don't think
Russo.
to this day that Jim has forgiven Terry Taylor either for that whole bullshit.
No, I don't think they've spoken since that whole thing, because um, Terry Taylor and Vince Russo were close because they were both like Christians. They're not even, and they were like, so they both were Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So let's get together. And Terry Taylor and Jim Cornette were friends for like 20 years. So
Yeah, they were
and
friends. I
he
mean,
betrayed his friends
Jim
in order to
Cornette
go with
literally,
Russo.
and even to this day, even though they're not friends, I mean, he still speaks very highly of Terry Taylor, even though he told him to go
Yeah.
fuck off, and you're not my friend because you helped me. I mean, this is what Jared and Terry Taylor told Jim Cornette to do, was sit there and watch the show and tell us where we need
Yeah.
to critique it and change it. He
Yeah.
did that because he was told to by Jeff Jarrett, and he was also told
Yeah.
that by Vince Russo.
Yeah, and
Or
Cornette
not
was the
Vince Russo,
authority.
I'm sorry, Terry Taylor, I meant to say.
At one point, Jim Cornette was the commissioner or the authority figure in TNA too. So he was doing on-camera work too at that time. So yeah, that's the TNA Dark Side of the Ring. Now the third episode is going to focus on Dixie Carter and how Vince Russo basically sucked up to Dixie, like, you should be on the TV, you should dominate TV. And then that's when they hired Hogan and Bischoff, and that's a whole other set of drama that happened there with
Right.
Hogan and Bischoff stealing all the money and leaving. Soon Hogan's contract was up. And Hogan went back to WWE, of course, once his contract with TNA was up. So it was Dixie, Hogan, Bischoff, like all over that television. Nobody wanted to see Dixie. Nobody wanted to see Hogan. Nobody definitely wanted to see Bischoff at this point. So it was like, that third episode is going to be full of drama. And so
Right. I mean, look what they did with WCW. Hogan left and wanted nothing to do with WCW. And then Bischoff had to, work with Vince Russo and, kiss his ass. So, Bischoff and Russo always got along. Or so they say.
Well, not today. Bischoff on the dark side says that he always hated working with Vince Russo. And he just he tolerated him because his bosses at Turner basically told him to, but he hated Vince
I was going
Russo's
to say,
booking.
that's not what he said in his 83 Beats.
Well, I mean, I don't know why he would. Yeah, that's totally different what he said there. I guess he's trying to be nice, but I don't know why, because they haven't worked together since TNA, so I don't know why he would be nice to him. So yeah, so that's TNA's Dark Side of the Ring. Let's see. So now let's preview Saturday night's main event, which is next Saturday. The only two matches they've announced is JD McDonough versus Danhausen, because Danhausen cursed him.
And the midgets still have the midgets, I guarantee you.
So this is taking place at Madison Square Garden, so they're gonna make a big deal out of the Knicks winning the title. So I'm sure some Knicks will be there. Also, the only other match I've seen advertised is the two main events in a tag team match. So it's CM Punk and Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in a tag team match. So of course they're gonna set up the drama that neither of these guys want to work with each other, and they're going to tees beating each other up, and they're gonna get that standard tag team match. So with frenemies, basically. So that's what we're gonna get there in the main event. Is so
Yeah, it's gonna be really stale. I'm sorry. And I love
yeah,
Punk and Cody. I don't like Rollins or Reigns. Sorry, I tried to like Roman Reigns and I just can't. I enough at the top, okay? We get it, Reigns. You're a main eventer. Nobody gives a fuck anymore because you spent 4 years of terror trying to convince us that we should like you, and you're just back at the top, and it's the same old boring bullshit.
three. Yeah, he had the 1300-day reign as champion. He kind of almost matched Hogan's 1400 days back in the 80s. So it was just one of those. It seemed like one of those things where they came close to
What did I tell you with the werewolf, the Samoan
Jacob
werewolf? They
yeah.
literally threw him right back down the card and made him Roman's lackey. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, I think eventually the plan is to move him back up and be Roman's lackey for now, but I don't know how long I don't know how seriously they're considering moving him back up, because obviously the match they're gonna work towards is Femi versus Roman at
Right.
WrestleMania next year. And I would assume Roman would drop this belt to Femi because that's the guy who should be a long-term champion once Roman goes away. So, and he is going to go away at some point. I mean, he's like in his early 40s, so it's like actually he still has leukemia. So, I think his wrestling career is going to wrap up sooner rather than later, especially since he has Hollywood calling. So, this is probably going to be his last
Street
run.
Fighter, right?
Yeah, he did Street Fighter with Cody and a bunch of other guys. So this is probably his last hurrah in wrestling. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but what else he has to prove? He's main evented WrestleMania 11 times. This next year, it's going to be the 12th time he's main evented, and that's more than Hogan even main evented WrestleMania. So, how much he's been a multiple time world champion. He's beaten everybody in that roster. What else is left for him to do? I mean, gets to a point where he has to go away for a while, or maybe forever, and get in the Hall of Fame and thank you
John
very
Cena,
much. Like go away, yeah, and that's it. Let him end his career with his head held up high.
Well, and I see that. I get the point of it, but even John Cena won't go away. He's almost at every freaking event now. And even though he doesn't wrestle anymore, it's like he just won't fucking go away. Go away, John Cena. I don't want to see you anymore.
Yeah, I think WWE is going back to the John Cena well in order to draw him. Even if he doesn't wrestle, if he's there, it'll draw. So that's why they're going back to the Cena well over and over again. Even though Gunther retired him at Saturday Night's Main Event. What else? Oh, it seems like they're setting up a match between Gunther and Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. So there's a bunch of drama between Gunther and Nick Aldis. Gunther calls him a failure as a general manager and a failure as a wrestler. And when he says failure as a wrestler, that gets to Nick Aldis. So it seems like they're building a match between the two at SummerSlam. So Nick Aldis' return to the ring is going to be at SummerSlam. Probably this year.
I mean,
so
if it happens, it happens. I just don't. I think they pushed Gunther right back down the card. No offense.
And yet I don't think Nick Aldis is going to win. I mean, he hasn't had a match in 3 years. His last match was for the NWA's world title because the NWA champion for 2 years. So he's a main event caliber talent. It's just that he had a bad back and hasn't wrestled in 3 years since he got WWE. So he's basically been the general manager of SmackDown this entire time. So maybe his back is feeling better where he can come back to wrestling, or
maybe he'll pick his champion or something. Even if he doesn't come back, he'll pick someone to wrestle for him.
Maybe. I mean, that's possible because it seemed like he hasn't thought about wrestling in 3.5 years, and now it seems like they're setting something up where Nick Aldis is getting back into the ring. I don't know if it's a one match only or he's going to be back full time basically in the ring. Like I don't know what their intentions are there, and
What
because
happened to Wade Barrett? Has anyone seen Wade Barrett lately?
he's on commentary with
Is he? I thought it was him and Corey Graves the other time. It was
yeah
it might be
he
Corey Graves.
he's still doing commentary. I think he's on SmackDown with Joe Tessasaur, whatever his name is.
That's a
But
sword.
he's still he's back. He's still in
Tessasaur?
commentary. Yeah, I think so. It's just
Okay.
he's
I
not
don't watch
around.
SmackDown, so that's why I haven't seen him. So
So
so here we are. Boring, 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 and more boring.
at SummerSlam, apparently they're planning to have the main event in night 2 is going to be Punk and Cody. So that's the match that's going to close out SummerSlam. And Roman and Seth Rollins going to main event night 1, I guess. So
Well, you
actually
know,
2 main
Tiki
events.
Stratton has to be there because she's from Minnesota, apparently. Chad
Yeah.
Gable might be there because he's from Minnesota. You know, the one person I wish was there was Kurt, or at
Yeah.
least Curtis Axel. But you know,
That's not. Yeah, he's pretty much out of wrestling. I mean, I don't think he hasn't really done anything in the indies either. So last year or two. So yeah, it's tough. So yeah, that's gonna be SummerSlam. That's going to be Saturday Night's main events next Saturday. Like at the Garden. So they only announced 2 matches. I assume a couple more matches will be announced at some point this week on Raw and SmackDown. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, waiting for Alex to come on in a few minutes. I mean, unless there's something else you wanted to bring up, but
not really. I mean, it's the whole thing. Stop comparing CM. But the thing is, well, okay. So I'll say this first. Stop comparing CM Punk to Hogan. Okay, you can't do anything in this business now unless you do it like Hogan. I don't think CM Punk politicked his way into this match. I think it was what the crowd wanted because they were in Chicago, and TKO seems to want to do this in front of a crowd of like, oh, Sami Zayn won in Saudi Arabia. Punk won in front of a crowd in Chicago because they were from Chicago. Sami's an Arab. He is a Muslim. He is also Canadian. So, I mean, what's the difference if Brett wins in Canada because he was Canadian? It doesn't make any fucking sense, nor does it make any fucking, to me, it doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, I like Punk, but to compare him to, oh, well, he's politicking like Hogan, now you're just being disingenuous. And, what I said on X was I said on YouTube, people who hate Punk are always going to hate Punk. They're always going to see that he, exposed their little friends in AEW, and they watch AEW religiously because they're all stupid and like boring entertainment. It's not even entertainment to me. The other thing was that CM Punk had mentioned something about a match with Jericho in, was it Brazil or something, and got some of the details wrong. I don't think that was him being Hogan, like where Hogan just blatantly lied and knew he lied, and you could verify this. I mean, he admits, he's like, I don't remember the full details. So I think CM Punk is just probably, wrestler exaggeration. I agree with James Romero that this is probably just Punk, not misremembering, or, he didn't remember because it was, very intense time. And, Chris Jericho got suspended because of it, he kicked the Brazilian flag and stuff. So, I mean, I think it's just Punk over-exaggerating or misremembering what happened in Brazil with the whole kicking of the Brazilian flag and stuff. I don't think he did it out of malice, and I don't think CM Punk is becoming Hulk Hogan.
That wasn't. Yeah, it was Jericho trying to get heat in Brazil, so he ended up
because he said
wiping
to
the flag.
Dave Chioda, "Give me the flag, brother," or "Give me the flag, man." So he stomped on it twice and then kicked it.
And Punk was laying on the mat, and he saw the ring being surrounded by the Brazilian military, and they
Which
all
didn't
pointing guns at.
happen. Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, so that's what he said.
First of all,
So yeah,
Punk was standing up and going, "What are we doing? What are you doing? What is this? Are you serious right now?" He was kind of like saying that stuff, but like the soldiers were off in the distance. There was no one surrounding the ring because they got video.
yeah,
from
the WWE hasn't been back to Brazil since. So
Yes,
they
because of that
really
whole
did
thing
piss
that
off the
Jericho did.
Brazilians.
Because Jericho talked about it
Yeah.
in his book, but then there was also like a video, a fan video of the whole incident. And Jericho said that they were not around the ring, but they were like off in the distance, ready, just glaring at him. The guns weren't drawn or anything; they were just glaring at, because one elderly man got so pissed off that he actually had the Brazilian soldiers standing there ready to arrest Jericho.
Yeah.
So
and they haven't been back since. Oh, well, I'm sorry, I gotta go. No. I gotta pick on little brother a little bit.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna do a few clips until 9:40, 9:45 because I want to go watch the UFC fights tonight. So
you don't really need to leave early for that.
No, I mean, I'm just picking on Angel. If he wants to go do that, go do that. I don't have any respect for UFC after that whole on the White House lawn bullshit. If you want to cater to them and suck their dicks, well, but do it in a different way.
The WWE, I wouldn't be surprised if TKO has WWE do a show in front of the White House. So that'll freak out that'll freak out the left. The liberals will freak out about it, and I'll laugh and we'll watch the show, and everybody will move on like with UFC. So we're all gonna laugh and make fun of them for freaking out, and that's it. Oh, it's illegal. Everything's illegal, so it's like might as well do it. So yeah, we're gonna start going away from YouTube.
I mean, they used to do shows in Shea Stadium, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah,
they had those Wrestle Rocks or whatever.
Yeah. So we're moving on to the other platforms. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We'll be back Sunday because Saturday's main event, or we try to be back Sunday because Saturday's main event is Saturday, so we're not doing a show. Yeah, we'll review Saturday's main event either Sunday or next Saturday after that. I don't know. So we'll see. But for now, hope everybody joined us on the other platforms. Have a great weekend. If you don't, we'll be back Friday for Angel and Friends and Sunday for Pro Wrestling Talk, I hope. So have a nice weekend. And we're gonna Yep. Hold on, let me
Even though my
find
account is suspended, I'm sure you can still go to my messages and you'll still see links there. So
yeah, I should be able to.
Yeah.
Trying to find